he is back on a football pitch. That is
Playing,
what yes. That is the only thing that is satisfactory. So he's back healthy and back on the football pitch. Even if he doesn't play again, he's healthy and has a long life.
And then
everybody's
figure
fine.
out what the next step is for him. The most important thing is for him to get better.
Yes.
Get back on his feet. $8:17. Now on the theme of sports, so on the 30th we are having the City Business Olympics. That's a few days away, or like 2 weeks away. What is pressing and important is that the Premier League is back. There was no Premier League last weekend, so people took a little time to cool off. But the league is back with a bang. Benjamin Nketiah, City Sports editor, is here. And if you drag him out on a Friday morning, that means that it's serious business.
Charlie, Premier League football is back. It's back. You know, international break is nice, but it never feels the same. It'll not be the same, Charlie. You know, like you're watching your country play. Some footballers who stress you out, you have to watch them all over again. But you see, when it's Premier League time, everybody can, go back into their respective team corners. And the interesting part about Ghana now is that there's a booming West Ham fan base coming up right now, Charlie. They have banners and things. Mohamed Kudus has established his own, West Ham fan base. They were here before he was signed, but you know how these things go. Since he was signed, the support base has exploded a little, sort of like what happened with Michael Essien and Chelsea. It's not reached that level yet, but all of that would depend on the level Kudus can give us in the Premier League. But it's exciting times. This is the home of the Premier League. So once it's back, I have a few spicy matches that I have my eyes on. It features Scandal FC, so they are in there. Sorry, Manchester United. Yes,
Scandal FC.
They are in
Apology there. FC.
Yeah, oh man.
Banishment FC.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Oh no, but
a football club can no longer take strong.
Oh no, it is
decisions.
good. It's good.
No,
strong decisions. They are good. They are good. They are brilliant.
But
I agree with you.
But Ten Hag, how's Haggy going?
Nana Sakura. Nana Sakura is.
I have strong difficulty with how football teams seem to be abusing the whole idea of, guilty. What do you call it?
Guilty before.
What's the name? What's the word? Innocent until proven guilty, right? I mean, somebody goes to make an allegation. Someone has been assaulted. Nobody has investigated it to find that the claim is correct, and then hey, you are benched.
But the investigations are ongoing.
No. See, I appreciate how far some of these Western institutions want to take respect for, if you like, the sensitivities or the rights of the affected person, right? But we saw what happened in the case of Mason Greenwood, right?
Yep.
The young man was banned.
No, but sometimes don't you think it's for a protection of the person's own mental health? Because you know how these things go.
Has the person come to complain that his mental health is affected?
No, I mean, sometimes you don't have to wait for the person, because see how it goes. If something like this happens, there's a game day. Already there's a certain section of your fans who are charged on social media who are coming after you. Then there are those who come to the stadium with placards. It creates an atmosphere where the club, if they don't act proactively, can be put in a bad position. So sometimes I don't think it's necessarily to the detriment of the player.
I think it is.
I feel sometimes it's just to protect the player himself.
I think it is. Just recently, the Toure one, is it Toure or what's the name? The Manchester City
Benjamin Mendy.
Mendy guy. Again, I'm well aware that another trial is to be held to decide, one of the other outstanding issues. But this guy was attacked across all media platforms, right? Only for the courts to return a decision that says that he is innocent of all the charges, right? One is outstanding because there are matters there to be resolved subsequently. The point I'm making is that the principle globally is that if a person is accused of doing something, that person is presumed innocent until a court of competent jurisdiction finds otherwise. Now, if we are to respect that principle, I do not think that it is proper for football teams, for institutions to immediately suspend people and publicly announce the same just because someone has alleged that, this footballer has done this and that and that. What it does is that it convicts the people or the person accused in the eyes of the public.
Yeah.
And
So
sometimes
they're saying they should let them play, let them function.
you see, these days it is just enough for someone to say that you have done something. In many countries, just by merely publishing or publicizing an allegation against you, you are gone. And I'm saying that in these countries, especially where the principle in these countries is entrenched, is that you are innocent until proven guilty. We should not encourage this thing, because this Anthony boy, I'm not holding brief for him.
Yeah.
Right? He's been accused in his home country of having done ABCD. Their investigations are underway.
Yes.
He's not being convicted by a court
Yes.
of law. Manchester United, giddy. You have
No. In Anthony's case, he and the club he actually proposed that he wanted to take time off to
Go
deal
and
with
deal
this
with-
matter.
Are you sure? The story that I read earlier was that in his home country there were allegations against him.
In his home country, the national team decided
The
not
national
to
team decided to not call
not
him
to
out.
add him
Which-
to the
yeah,
squad.
which is also an issue for me, right? Oh, I really hope you actually feel how I feel.
I get you.
I get what you mean, because like you're saying, look, if somebody accuses you, automatically in people's subconscious, you have done it.
It's wrong.
And it's wrong. Again, right? Like even in Anthony's case, if he's eventually cleared, there will still be some people who feel like he's still done some wrong and that he's been exonerated because of certain. I get what you, but it's just a very delicate ground. And the truth is that it has affected the team on the pitch. But in also the truth is that the pitch and Casa, he was not doing shilling, so it is not a problem.
Anyway, Ben. So this weekend, what are we expecting
Well,
in the Premier?
Brighton United is a game that is after my heart.
Yeah, it's at
I
Old
like
Trafford.
the game. Why is Akoto looking at me like that?
Wolves versus Liverpool is not after your hand.
No. But
That's
Brighton,
early kickoff.
we'll deal with early kickoff. Early kickoff, there. No.
And you know early kickoffs are trouble.
Yes.
That is why you are to say that you do what? Early kickoffs.
You see,
I listened to you when you were hosting the show before the international break. In fact, you were busily harping on about the dangers of early kickoff. He had all the data around the pitfalls of early kickoff. Today, you are telling me we talk about kickoffs. Bring that data you were reading your audience that day. I want that data. Read it on this show this morning.
we'll pull out the
I
data.
said I want the data. Liverpool versus Wolves are at Molineux.
Yeah.
At 11. Early kickoff. So in your estimation,
No, but you know-
hold on, I'm questioning you. As the host of Citi FM's EPL radio commentary, as the lead host,
Yeah.
what are some of the dangers of early kickoffs? What are some of the pitfalls?
I mean,
two.
Yeah. Liverpool have sorted
It's
out
not
their
about
issues.
Liverpool. Just tell me about early kickoffs.
Oh no, early kickoff. You see,
Or Liverpool have a different record.
no, the investors have jinxed early kickoff, but that's another matter. But you see, the truth of the matter is that
So Wolves will win.
oh no, Wolves will not win. How? Have you seen Liverpool this season? Have you seen Soboslai?
Samurai.
Have you seen Soboslai?
I think
Have you
he's
seen McAllister?
he's you know, I think that sometimes people underestimate Klopp a bit too much based on what has happened previously. But when it comes to profiling players,
Yep.
there are few better at
Yeah.
it than
Yep.
Dan Klopp.
Yep.
Klopp, which is the problem Nana Sako has. Nana Sako doesn't do well
Nana
at
Sako-
profiling players. I think he's a very good manager.
Yeah.
Who is Nana Sako?
Ten Hag.
Eric Ten Hag.
Eric Ten Hag.
Nana
not
Sako. Yes.
Is this Sakura or what?
Yeah. You understand? He's a brilliant manager, tactics and everything, but his appreciation of player profiles,
Yeah, somewhere.
challenge.
He's bringing you Anwar El Ghazi.
When I heard that thing, I almost
But
look. I would have bent all my Manchester United jerseys.
no, but the club shut it down. They said it wasn't true.
No, but no. He was
They had sounded it came out. That's the only way that will come out.
They brought El Ghazi to one of the games before the
Yeah,
international
they
break,
did bring him.
and he's worked with Ten Hag before, and so the consensus generally was that Ten Hag wanted certain players. United said they needed to sell to get those players in, once those players were not brought in, they decided to give him loan options.
So that's what he
good.
did.
But I mean, United have a big game on their hands because Brighton did a double over United last season. It was home and away.
Yes.
So United have a good game on their hands. Tariq Lamptey is a player that interests me as far as this game is concerned. He made a return from injury after over 3 months. So it was really good. In fact, in the short spell in which he was on the pitch, he did make quite an impact. But Nathan, I'm just curious about what United would do in the absence of Sancho, because he also...
The history is what we will do.
Sancho has had a showdown with the manager. Apparently, he's had crisis talks with the manager, and the crisis talks did not go well. He was asked to apologize, according to reports, for calling the manager a liar. He said he will not apologize. So it looks like Jadon Sancho will leave the club. So one winger leaving, one winger suspended on allegations. It looks like United a cab fee because Anthony was bought for 100 million. If this turns out to be a drawn-out, extended stay away from the pitch like the Greenwood situation, and United did say that they will continue paying his salary. So this is about to be quite an interesting season for
United. At the London Stadium, like you said, Kudus' West Ham. That is how we will refer to them. Although the team has more established stars, for us in Ghana, it is Kudus' West Ham.
Somebody travel
up
all
against
the way
City
from London to come and watch you. That's serious.
Yeah,
that's a serious fan.
Kudus' West Ham. Who's winning?
I mean, it goes Man City's way, but I want to believe that David Moyes has an upset up his sleeves. They started the season
really well.
They started well, and Man City, if you've watched them play, they always take a while to get into their groove as far as the early parts of the season. If you watch, they've won literally every game, but they're not playing well as you expect them to play. And so there's still some polishing to do. And this is the best time for West Ham to probably get something out of Manchester.
First versus fourth. Yeah. Where does Kudus fit in at West Ham?
That's the bigger question, because I think that Kudus' position is exactly where Lucas Paqueta plays. They play similar styles of football, and in fact, Paqueta has been forced to do away with a lot of the excesses of his game since he started working with David Moyes. So he's working hard, running off the ball, and stuff like that. It's a little funny for me because he's not that kind of player. And when you watch him in Brazil, you see the real Paqueta, but that's what Kudus is going to have to do. He's going to have to learn to touch the ball less, run a little harder off the ball, sometimes even filling in slots where he's not too comfortable. We know if he gets enough shooting room, he will shoot and all of that. I'm sure he will get his goals. I have set a personal target for him. I think if he can do 10 goals this season, 5 assists, that would be wonderful. But he needs to concentrate first of all on breaking into that team, because that's the bigger headache at hand.
Will we see Richarlison not shed tears as Sheffield United?
He says he's going to see a psychologist when he comes back.
Why is he? He's become too emotional these days.
Yeah.
No, I think he said he has some issues.
He said he had off the pitch issues.
So
that's why every time he's substituted, he cries.
Family really. I think, and reading an article that was published about him, it would seem that some people were simply interested.
Some people were chopping his money.
Yeah, and when the money was on way, they decided to.
That is why he has scored once in 60 matches.
Well, I mean, it's a question of what exactly
the Brazil game was really bad. He missed like an almost empty net, and then they removed him from the game, and then he was in tears. The journalist confronted him. He said it was off the pitch issues, but me Obwa, he missed the chance.
Let me drag you to Sunday.
You're not there.
And my favorite team in the English Premier League right now, Chelsea. They are traveling to play Iraola's Bournemouth. What should we expect?
Now, Chelsea, they play all the good football now. Goal scoring is just a headache for the team, and chance creation as well. So in the last games, if you notice, the goals that came, Raheem Sterling, individual effort.
He's playing well.
Dribbled between almost 3-4 players.
He's playing very well.
No, but again, context. The games he's played well in have been games against Minos. I mean, if you
he can only perform against who he's playing against.
Fair. But if you meet Luton Town, you do it.
The man is dribbling everybody, including himself. A.K.A. Darius Vassell.
Charlie. Darius Vassell.
I haven't heard that name in like a decade. Yeah.
So they dribble everybody and dribble himself.
Yeah, Charlie. No, but they need to score goals. That's the thing. They need to score goals.
And Bournemouth are pretty good under Raiola. They are not getting the points their play deserves, but I think they are far more watchable than Gary O'Neill's.
yeah.
See,
Bournemouth.
that's the thing with Chelsea now is if you are like a mid to lower tier team, this is the best time to play Chelsea this season because again they are still going through the motions of settling in this system. They are still trying to fine tune who fits in what position. And
Michael Jackson, how far?
Oh, Charlie. Billie Jean is not doing well.
He's missed.
They have Michael Jackson.
The Canadian boy.
Which Canadian boy? The one from Senegal.
Nicholas Jackson.
AKA Michael Jackson.
Gambian-born Senegalese.
Yeah. Hard running.
They say he's missed the most open chances this season. Yeah,
He will
most
score,
open
he will
chances.
score.
So that's the word on
He missed
Chelsea.
one
But
against
why is
Forest.
Sky silent on his team? Like
Chelsea have driven him mad for 2 years.
I genuinely want to know how you feel about your team right now.
You don't want to know.
I have a right to remain silent.
Which brings me to
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Yeah.
Mr. Samuel Atamensa,
But let's
who's
finish the Chelsea first.
we are finished.
Chelsea they will go back to relegation.
That's Ebusuni.
Oh,
After
yeah,
spending almost £1 billion.
I put up.
He's trying to provoke me.
You know, two things have happened to this team. You know that woman that you pulled embarrassed.
Gun of Sky.
Yes.
No. Is it Ghana Star?
yeah.
Eva Canero.
Oh, Mourinho's.
From 2015.
Yes, that woman
Still holding.
No, he do him put to
Charlie, because no, see the Chelsea situation there, where we might be making light of it, but you know, by mid-season, if they've not started scoring goals and have not entered the top 4, I think it's going to enter into overdrive because look, this guy spent, like you said, he spent £1 billion in less than a year.
They will go the way of Leicester City.
Okay, then let me come to near bottom of the league, Everton versus title pretenders, Arsenal. Atamensa.
Well, we are okay to be referred to as title pretenders. You know, you can laugh at us, you can ridicule us, but we just love the team. That's all. we are cool.
Yeah, you are cool.
No, but Arsenal have blood in their eyes for that game. They lost to Everton last season, and that was one of the games that I think eventually led to their downfall because those was one of those games you didn't think Arsenal were going to lose. They went to.
But it was Sean Dyche's first game
Yep.
as Everton manager.
Manager.
He brought on.
We had injuries, we had all the things, but it's fine. If we lose, we live to fight another day.
But what do you make of the criticism of Arteta that he's experimenting with the team like it's preseason when most of the things he's doing in season were things he didn't try in the preseason?
That's true. But I mean, we are just fans, so we wouldn't know what happens in the
happening?
boardroom. The boardroom, yes, and then back technical room.
technical.
The things are if you have a new defender, Timber,
Yep.
Who's injured?
Yeah.
who gets injured in such an
Unexpected.
Very
manner,
yes, yeah.
you definitely have to make changes.
Okay.
And the thing is that they play people with experience, not people with talent. They toy around people with experience, not just talented people. So you are having a party being shifted around because it's experienced. That's what. But it's also a bit fragile, you know. So that's why he will play 3 games and come and sit down for. But, you know, the English system, they don't have what's the English word for it? No mercy for
the critical.
Yeah, you know,
And especially
ruthless.
they are ruthless.
since Arsenal fans tasted what it means to be at the top of the table last season for a long spell, I think they've become accustomed to it. So right now, when they draw game, then the fans vex. Like, you know, they think that they should be winning every game now.
Yeah, but
they feel like they belong in the top 3 worst case scenario. And so Arteta has his work cut out for him. The truth is, got them to a Champions League, got them, second last season. Now the bar is a little higher because they've given you every bit of money you wanted. They've bought you 100 million defensive midfielder. I mean, that rarely ever happens in football. And so right now you've produced the goods. So that's the bit. Arsenal need to bring their A game this
So
weekend.
Declan Rice, is he living up to
Oh
that?
yeah, he's not flashy, but I think he's doing his job. He's doing his job.
100 million?
How is he here?
Well, he'll do what he's supposed to do.
He scored a winning goal.
100 million?
What else can he do?
He scored already this season,
Yes.
and I think that, you know what, for 100 million defensive midfielder, it will always be hard to show people your worth. But the devil is in the detail. The little interceptions,
I think he has the English
Closing the
press on
channel.
his side.
There's
Also,
that. He has the English press.
there's that.
You know,
I mean,
I always say that
he
if
scores one and he becomes player of the month. He becomes player of the match. He becomes player of everything.
Yeah, you know,
Player of players.
They'll always
The
be
narrative
that.
will go.
They'll always be that. But I think that so far, I didn't rate him that highly. But the guy I rated more highly than him is having more trouble than him at Chelsea. So there's that. Caicedo is literally struggling to find his feet at Chelsea. But Rice is
Like I said, he'll find his level. He'll
Yeah.
find his level.
Rice has been he's been decent
But,
so far.
talking about the Kudus thing, once I saw this Kudus's entry into the EPL, it just reminded me of this guy, 2006, Carlos Tevez, and
West Ham.
and the other guy. There are two of them.
Mascherano.
Mascherano.
You know, I mean, they landed from Corinthians straight to West Ham.
Yeah.
That was very unusual.
It was a very unusual
That's very
transfer.
unusual.
You know, but the bigger picture was that they were targeting the higher level teams.
Yeah.
You know, the
And
bigger
after
picture,
2 seasons,
Moving on to
Tevez went to
straight
Man
to Man U.
United. Mascherano went to Liverpool.
it was Kia Jarabki and
Kia Jarabki, Charlie.
their agent
we are
was misbehaving.
hoping that
Yeah.
Kudus
Kudus
will make a proper impact in his first year that may lead him to a better team like Arsenal.
I can't believe this was orchestrated. So we got
This
here.
Agamalized Arsenal side.
Hello, okay?
No, fine.
Get him to move to the better part of London.
Thank you.
Fine.
And finally, very
But
easy
people-
on the.
A quick one on the Kudus matter.
Yeah.
I think I hear people say that his pace is not, if you like, lightning enough to actually confront the English game.
Oh, but that's not true.
Kudus?
His pace,
He'll be
he
fine.
actually has a very fast pace
Kudus is-
for the midfield
the
role
position
that
that
he
he
plays.
plays.
For a
He'll be
position
fine.
that he's quick.
He's very
If you were a
athletic, actually.
striker, then you know. But even for that, the guy is very.
But the
pacey.
position that he plays, the pace is not an issue.
He's strong, he's
The,
athletic.
the
he
issues
can
that
take care of
Kudus has is
himself.
what
We are
Nketiah
talking
mentioned.
about Arsenal with Gabriel.
You see, the biggest
The man
adjustment,
turns like a tipper truck.
the issues that the improvements or the adjustments Kudus has to make to his game are all off the ball.
Of the ball.
Not,
Okay.
really
on
on,
the
the ball. Even on the ball, he might just have to be a bit quicker with his release. But a lot more of the adjustments, I think, will be off the ball because David Moyes has certain expectations of
Every
whoever.
single
If you
player.
look at his number 9, Mikel Antonio, and the kind of work he puts in, it should tell you what he expects of everybody. If you look at the number 9,
He's a dangerous one.
yes, and the kind of work he puts in, it should tell you what he expects. So
I have to work hard.
need to
he
be a
just
hard
needs to-
runner.
Yeah, you need to adjust. And then the last one, Nketiah, I'll ask you. Burnley have been very good to watch,
Charlie.
but they have
but
0
the
points
Charlie.
against Nottingham Forest, who are behaving like Chelsea, just a cheap level side Chelsea.
But
They are
they-
buying everybody, but they are buying it for 10 million and 12 million.
No,
10 million and 12
actually,
million.
They started buying 3 years ago,
And they've been buying for a long time.
and last year they reached the peak.
Yep.
Of they bought like 20 plus
players.
players
They got
in one window.
10 of them were on loan. At least 10 of them were on loan. So a lot of them went back to their clubs. So
They are
this
doing
season
business.
they are
this year
bringing in
they are now-
they are bringing in
Total
reinforcements.
record.
They are bringing in reinforcements. I like Nottingham Forest, honestly.
At home.
Yes, they don't look overawed by the Premier League at all. Be it if they are playing against an Arsenal, Liverpool, they go out there and they battle it out with the
But
big
you
boys.
talk about Nottingham Forest and Arsenal. You know the history between the two teams.
Not too well.
The Arsenal jersey, the red jersey, is actually originally the Nottingham Forest jersey.
Oh, okay.
So Woolwich Arsenal, the football club, when they were promoted to the league, they had to borrow the Nottingham Forest jersey,
yes.
which has remained till this day. So
I
there's
see.
always a shadow over Arsenal anytime they play Nottingham Forest. Check.
Susumwadie.
I'm telling you.
Susumwadie.
That's a good
So if I
perspective.
look inside-
Yeah.
So that red is a Nottingham Forest red.
Red.
Oh.
So, Nketiah, these are your fixtures for the weekend, eh?
Yeah.
So it's a busy weekend you have.
Not-
Yeah,
Nottingham
busy
Forest.
busy weekend. But
They are my favorite winger in the league.
who is this?
Anthony Ni Langa Ilanga.
Oh.
Charlie, that guy is deadly, eh?
Eh, see, United, when
Ilanga.
United gets
But
up there,
Ilanga, you see, Ilanga, that is his standard.
Yeah.
That is his standard.
I've seen Ilanga do
Not
things
yet.
against big teams.
Let me show you. In that same Arsenal game,
Yeah.
2 seconds after giving that, did you see what he did? They gave him a pass. He did step over and pass to an Arsenal player. And then you say he wants him to play where? Ilanga, I can only give you 5 minutes of brilliance.
Oh,
oh.
man, but that's the beauty of the league. The good part about the weekend's broadcast is that, like we do these days, we open the phone lines for about 30 minutes after the games, and it's it's exceptionally nice when Chelsea or United have lost the game and you open the phone like
Drama.
Charlie, people bob brutal. Hey,
This thing in the talk.
I
I
will
don't mind it.
yalla.
nah,
But
Charlie.
early kickoff, bring your notes.
They said bring the info.
Oh, no, I'll bring
The
my
I mean,
notes.
this guy last month he was in the chair. He had like a whole sheet, very long one. Early kickoff woes. Then he will mention. Tomorrow it is Wolves versus Liverpool. Bring it.
I always have my statistics for early kickoff and for the game, so no worry.
Bring it.
And for those who listen to the Premier League on City as well, a lot of new packages. So there's the EPL Pitchside Show. This is a podcast which runs on Tuesdays from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and then repeats on Thursdays as well. So there's that, and then you can also catch it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast. So that's some extra Premier League content for you. There'll be some other stuff on Breakfast Daily from next week. So 10 minutes on the Breakfast Daily.
Talk about the Premier
League.
Of course, there's the Premier League preview show,
Yeah,
which
on
airs
Friday.
every Friday, and
Yeah,
I'll be
so
hosting that.
A lot of
later
Premier
today.
League. You'll be seeing me a lot on the Breakfast Show this year and this season. So I wish Man United well against Brighton. It should be an interesting game. I wish Chelsea well as well, Mr. Sky. Hopefully you can break your silence on Chelsea. I wish
he'll be fine.
Arsenal well as well, and we Liverpool will be well for early kickoff. So nobody should worry
Pascal,
about that.
do you still support
Thank you.
Chelsea?
Oh yes, I still support
how?
Chelsea. Samuel, what are you doing? How is this one? Why should I not continue? Why?
You still support what's left of Chelsea?
They'll be fine. They'll rebuild. All right. So the Premier League is back. It's back. Early kickoff tomorrow. Wolves versus Liverpool at the Molineux, 11:30 p.m.